Hi everyone, welcome back. This is Tuplex. I've been doing a little bit of work offline. As you can see here, I've made a train depot for Logistic Train Network. The reason I did this offline is just because I haven't used LTN in probably a couple of months, and I wasn't real comfortable in my memory of how it works to be able to do it while I was recording without having lots of pauses and breaks while I try to figure things out. So I thought it would be better for me to mess around a little bit with it on my own, get something small set up to reacquaint myself. And so that's what I did. So in case you haven't used the mod before, we have provider stations, which in this case would be our coal mine. That's a provider station. And then we have requester stations, which in this case is the coal station in the main base. And then we need a depot, which is what this is. And the depot is where all the trains wait for instructions. And basically when you set up a depot, you hook up your constant combinator and you just give it the signal that says stop as depot. And then you have to make sure that all your depots have the same name. So in this case, I'm calling them depot-cargo. And I put cargo there is because I'll have another depot that's called depot-fluids, where I'll keep trains that have fluid wagons. For the fluid wagons, I'm not sure if I want to do 121 or just 111. I'm thinking 111 rather than 121, but we'll decide that later. I don't have a need for it right now. Okay, and then I set up 2 trains. I think I might have, I have enough that I can set up 2 more trains. So let's go ahead and do that. Oh, not a wooden chest. Yeah, let me grab some coal. And then I also set up I'm just going to get a couple stacks of coal. That way it'll take coal instead of my wooden chests to load these trains. I also set up a passenger station so that I can bring my train here. And then I set up a refueling stop. And this is actually a requester station. So I set this up to request 16K of coal. Some has already been delivered just because I used this as a way to sort of test that everything was working. And I'll show you that here in a minute once I get these other 2 trains going. All right, so on the refueling, I'm using the bulk unloaders to load coal, and then I just have 2 lines coming down the sides with fast inserters so that they can add coal to the trains. Now, this is one of the great advantages of using LTN, is that you only need to refuel your trains in one place, because the trains are not dedicated to a specific line. The trains will be sent as needed to pick something up and then go drop it off. And then when they're done, they come back to the depot. So that's one thing that I really like about this. And then I'm using this type of design for the train stops. Basically we have our 2-lane track, one in each direction. So the trains will come in, they'll go up here, and then they can either go straight or they can go over here. And then when they exit, they can either go straight or come over here. So this way there's multiple entrances and exits, but I've got them set up in pairs like that. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it that way. I've been thinking also that it might be better to have them loop. If I do a loop, I can fit these much closer together, and that might be better because I think by the end we might need to have 20, 30, maybe 50 trains. I don't know how many trains I'm going to need to add to the depot, and that would be more compact. On the other hand, I'm thinking that maybe I don't want to have one depot for everything. It might be better to have smaller depots distributed around the base, because if I just have one big depot, then that means that every train is going to be coming and going from that depot, and that could create a lot of traffic. So right now I'm thinking I'll make this a more distributed network, if you will. Excuse my pseudo IT speak. All right, and then by default, the trains have a schedule just to go to depot cargo for 5 seconds of inactivity. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to copy that train schedule to each of these and put it on automatic. Automatic. Okay. And then when a train is at the depot and the depot station is ready to go, it'll basically give you a blue signal. Or I think the blue just means that a train is at the station. Okay, so now let's see it work. So I have here at my fuel station, I have 17,000 coal in here. And I have this set to request 16. All right, so let's just change this to 20 so that we put out a request for more coal. All right, so now we can see that this is requesting about 3,000 coal because there's less than that, and it immediately sent this train to go get it. We can see the schedule that it created. It's going to go to coal 1. It's going to wait there until it's got at least that much coal. And 2 seconds of inactivity, or it's waited for 2 minutes. And then it's going to go back to the fuel depot, which is what that refueling station is called. It'll empty itself out, and then it'll go back to the depot to wait. Now in this case, I did check, and the bulk rail loaders cannot be controlled by circuits. So in other words, there's no way to stop the rail loaders with a circuit. So when we're using the bulk rail loaders, the only way that we'll be able to load the trains is basically have them completely fill up. So it's going to fill up completely, and then after 2 seconds of inactivity, it'll leave. So if we need to control the contents of these stations more tightly than that, then we won't be able to use the bulk rail loaders. But in this case, you know, I'm asking for 20. It's got about 16 now. It's going to get another 16, so it's going to overfill. Right. But in this case, I'm just going to make sure that my inventory level that I set here is much less than what the capacity of these are. And that won't be a problem. Okay, so the train will unload. Let's wait for that to happen. And then it'll leave and it'll come back to the depot. Now in this case, when it leaves, it's going to have to go back out to the main rail, go to one of the U-turns, and then come back, just because it doesn't have a direct path from here over here. So that's a little bit inefficient in that respect. All right, so now we've got 33,000 in here, and it won't request anymore until there's less than 20,000 available, which should last a very long time. All right, where did the train go? Okay, yeah, here it comes. So now it's coming back, and it'll go back to the depot station, get a little more fuel, and then it'll just sit there and wait for further orders. All right, so that's working pretty well so far, and I think this will allow us to get started with the train network. All right, so I'm going to go back to the main base. Hopefully all that works properly. At some point, I will want to use better fuel than coal, so we get the acceleration bonus. But I think for the early and mid-game, coal as a fuel will be more than sufficient. Okay. And then down here, I set up a second train station using that same sort of double setup. And I think I'll probably use this as we expand with adding additional train stations to the main base. We'll just put them in pairs like that and have them empty onto opposite sides. I think that's a fairly good setup. I got this idea from, I think it was from Mojo, from one of his base designs. Okay. He's been putting streams on YouTube lately, by the way, if anyone's interested in watching it. I have trouble with the streams sometimes because they're very long, but he's got some really cool base designs. All right, so here at this base, what I did to avoid that problem that I discussed last time where a train might not completely unload and go back to the depot with stuff still in it. What I did here is I just set the inventory level to 48,000, and then I removed the limitation on the unloaders. There was a train sitting here, so I let it finish unloading. All right, now one thing I do want to change here is I want to connect this with red wire instead of green. The reason for that is I would like to be able to see my inventory level separately from the combined total of the inventory plus the negative number that I'm requesting. Okay, so here I can hover and I can see that I have 63,000 between these two, plus a little more now. And then I can see my 48K. And then if I hover over this, I can see the total of those, which is a positive 15, which means that there's nothing getting sent to the request. All right. So I think all that is good. So another thing I did just recently based on a suggestion, somebody commented that he saw a good to-do list mod from Catherine of Sky's videos. So I got that. It's called To-Do List. It's a very descriptive name. So I've gone ahead and put one together based on the one that I was doing on the mini map. So actually I'm going to get rid of this now. I'm not going to use that anymore. I do like this mod, and I think we'll continue to use that instead. So we got Blue Science, personal construction bots. I want to get logistics bots set up for the main base. The main purpose I want to use those for is to get stuff from the hardware store over next to my train station. Since as we expand, we're going to start to be basing ourselves at the train station more and more. But in order to do bots, or in order to do the construction bots, which is my priority, I need a personal roboport. And to get a personal roboport, I need Blue Science. Where is it? Here we go. Personal roboport. Yeah, so I'm going to need 50 Blue Science packs. So that's why I prioritize Blue Science packs above everything else. So we'll do Blue Science, and then we'll do some bots. I still want to set up wood production. I might do that off-site rather than here in the main base. And then I'd like to start working on off-site ore processing and smelting. Where we'll do ore sorting, crushing, with all the different ores. That means we'll probably set up some more mining outposts. And then military science is still on the to-do list, but there's nothing that I really need right now that requires military science, so that's why I have that as a low priority right now. All right, so those are the items that we're going to be working on. Let me grab my car, and we'll head over to the science area so we can start doing some science. Blue Science. Now, I'm not going to go for like 1 per second on Blue Science. But maybe I should. Let's see. Blue Science. Yeah, I'll just build it up. Why not? I'm not gonna do like all the Blue Science research here in the main base. I just want to get a few key technologies to allow us to continue to tech up and get some of the stuff that we want. But my ultimate goal, certainly before we get beyond Blue Science, if not before that, is to set up science pack production at a rail station, where we can do it in higher volumes. All right, so yeah, I was looking for blue science packs. So for blue science, we get 2 every 12 seconds. Yeah, so if I want one per second, like I have with red and green, I would need 6 blue science makers. Is that right? Yeah, normally it would be 12, but since we get 2 every time, I need half as many. Yeah, so 6. All right, so I already started putting this together in HellMod. I did decrease the size of the window, so I have access to this panel over here on the side. Before it was kind of off the edge of the screen. The way that I did that is I went to mod settings, and if you go to per player for HellMod, the display width factor used to be 0.85. I changed it to 0.7, and that seems to be a good size. It's still big enough that I can see everything that I want to see. Okay. Yeah, so let's do the blue science packs with 6 factories. And we'll just do the assembly machine twos like we're doing with red and green science. So that needs engines, batteries, electronic circuit boards, and bronze plates. So luckily for us, we're already making all of those things except for the batteries. So to make the batteries, we need plastic bars, lead plates, and sulfuric acid. Okay, so we've already got the bars and the plates. We just need the acid. To make the sulfuric acid, we'll do that in a chemical plant. We need sulfur dioxide gas and purified water. The sulfur dioxide gas we can get from a combination of oxygen and sulfur. And the sulfur we can get by purifying our sulfuric wastewater that we've been saving. And that will actually give us sulfur plus mineralized water plus purified water. And I can see here that we're going to get more purified water than what we need to make the sulfur dioxide, or I'm sorry, to make the sulfuric acid. So I think we'll be able to use the purified water and feed it back into this process and have it support itself. Although we will need to make some purified water at the beginning just to kind of get the process rolling. And in fact, it'll make excess purified water, which we'll have to get rid of somehow. And then the mineralized water we can send back up here. And we can prioritize the use of that mineralized water over this so that we don't use stone unnecessarily. All right, so that's the plan. Let's go ahead and pin this. And I think, well, we're going to have to start with the sulfuric acid because that's the thing that we don't have yet. All right, so we're going to need 1 hydro plant. I don't think I have any of those. All right, so we'll craft one of those. I'm going to make 2 machines making batteries. So we'll do 2 chemical plants because I'd like to have some extra beyond just what I need for the science packs, because I know that the batteries will be needed for other things as well. So to begin with, I'll set that up to make 2, and then we'll have 1 chemical plant for each of those. So let's make 4 of the chemical plants. Where are they? 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then those factories we have. Okay. It seems like it would be smart to make the acid close to where this is. So why don't we make the acid down here next to the train station? Yeah, and in fact, I like that idea for the other reason that later on, if we decide to stop making the acid here in the main base, we can bring it in by train and put it into our pipeline easily. Oops. And I just want to check. Okay, yeah, we've been running on this one stack of generators for quite a while. And we're going to have to think pretty soon we're going to have to think about what we want to do about power long term, if we want to do solar or nuclear. Okay. Do I want to leave all of this pipey mess here? I think we probably should leave it there. All right, let's extend this path a bit, and then we'll go 1, 2, and we'll put our area down here. Let's get some more stone brick. I should probably just leave the car. No. I was going to say I should just leave the car out, but whenever I do that, I end up running halfway across the base and forget to bring it with me. So I'm going to always pick up the car. Whoopsie. Okay. Pick up that one stray stone and then send that underground. Okay, and we're good. No, oh, I know. I can put the coal down here. Actually, I'll keep the coal. All right, let's get rid of these trees. All right, so first we're going to have the hydro plant, and that's going to be receiving the sulfuric wastewater. Do I want to put it right here? I think I could put it right here in line with it. Why not? I've got plenty of room. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Okay, sulfuric wastewater purification. So sulfuric wastewater goes in here. You know what? I did say I was going to start using bronze pipes, but I haven't started making them yet. All right, well, let's make a few, at least a few of these bronze pipe undergrounds to get started. And I think I should put a pump. All right, there we go. Man, that extra distance is really nice. Is that 15? That seems like more than 15 tiles. Show tile grid. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I guess it is 15. Okay. That extra 5 tiles really makes a big difference. Okay, and then we're going to have sulfur come out. Let's see. We're going to get 1 sulfur per second, so we can use a regular inserter. That sulfur is going to go into a chemical plant. And I'm going to put the chemical plant over here. Okay, and this is going to be the one making sulfur dioxide, which I think is here. Yeah, from sulfur and oxygen. Okay, so we're going to need to get some oxygen over here. I didn't include that yet in my plan, but we will get to it. The sulfur dioxide will then go into another chemical plant. I wonder if I should put it into a storage tank as well. No, I don't think so. Well, yeah, let's go ahead and do that. That way we can use, we'll be able to use the sulfuric wastewater while we have it available. So I'll put it in one of those small inline tanks like that. And then we'll put the next chemical plant there. Okay, and this is sulfur dioxide gas. Oh, okay, and then the next one is to make the actual sulfuric acid, which is right there. Okay, and then that is going to need an input of purified water. The output will be the sulfuric acid, which we are going to put into one of our cylindrical fluid tanks. And then that we will pump over to the rest of the main base. Like that. Okay. Let's figure out how much oxygen we need. I think I'm just going to make it now. We can make oxygen from purified water, but that would need more than we're going to make. So that's not going to be enough to make the oxygen also. Now we could use a combination of electrolysis. The regular electrolysis will also give us some slag. All right, if I do that, I'll get 11.3. I'll get a little bit more than 11.3 if I use that only. If I used a combination of purified water plus this, I would get a little bit of slag, but not a lot. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to combine purified water electrolysis as well as using an air filter. All right, where's the air filter? There we go. All right, yeah, and if I do this by air, okay, one chemical plant. All right, yeah, so I can do one air filter, one chemical plant. And then an electrolyzer. So I need another chemical plant. Let me make that. All right. Do I have a water line? Yes, I have one here. All right, so I'm going to tap into that. Man, that's a bummer. All right. No problem. We'll just do that. Okay. And then yeah, from here I'll just go with stone because I'm running low on the bronze. Well, I got 2 more. That's probably enough to get it where I need it. Let's make a couple regular bronze pipes. Oh. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's as far as we can go with the bronze. in this case. Although, yeah, I'm just going to use stone here. I'll make the water over here on this side. All right, so this is... First, I need to make some purified water just to get things started. And for that, I think I need a hydro plant. All right, so let's grab some more steel. Where's my car? Where's my car, dude? There it is. Steel plates, please. Thank you. All right. At least I'm pretty sure the hydro plant is where we electrolyze purified water. You know what? Cancel that. I think I've got purified water already. I can bring some of that down to bootstrap the process. And then I'll eliminate this pipe when we're done. Right, so do I actually need that water? Yeah, I need it for electrolysis for the hydrogen. Okay. All right, let's and again, this is only temporary, just to get things started. Okay, so now we have purified water. All right, let's add some power. All right. There we go. All right, so for the oxygen, the plan is to make some of it with, the priority is going to be to use some of this purified water that we are producing. Oh, crud. Okay. That's all right. Okay, so I think I don't need this anymore. I might not have ever needed it, now that I think about it. Okay, so we're making sulfur. Now we have sulfur, we just need oxygen. Okay, so this is going to produce purified water. It'll come over here. It will go first into there. Let us make... First, I need some inventory space. Let's make an overflow valve. And put that there. That way, if the pipe is less than 80% full, it's all going to go here first, and only the excess will come out. And from there, we will do purified water electrolysis. Okay, and then I need a flare stack. For the hydrogen. I'll just do it directly like that. Let's put a few lights in here. Okay. And you're not running because you don't have enough water yet. There we go. And oxygen. Okay. It looked like it ran a little bit. And then we need a little bit more oxygen. All right, but I only want, yeah, so we're going to make more oxygen from the, I'm going to give myself a little more room there. Let's get the chemical plant. 1, 2. Okay, and then we're going to make a little bit more oxygen from the nitrogen process, nitrogen air separation, and that's going to come from an air filter, which makes compressed air. Okay. That should actually be moved. And we'll move the air filter as well. Okay. And then I'm going to need another flare stack for the nitrogen. I'm not going to bother buffering any of it. I'm already doing that elsewhere in case we really need hydrogen. All right, now I want this oxygen only to be used when there's not enough in here. So do we have a valve that will help us do that? Underflow valve will only pass if the input side is less than 80%. That's not what I want. I don't think there's a way to do that with a valve, actually. Basically, I would want this only to run when this drops. Now, the overflow will release when the output... Maybe the underflow will do. I don't know if the underflow works on the based on the input side or the output side. That's what I'm not real clear on. So let's assume that it works on the output side, which is what I would want it to do. All right, and it seems like that's what it's doing. So let's watch on the output side and see if once that reaches a certain level, it stops. How are we doing on this side? Okay, that looks good. Yeah, so what I would like to see is that once this gets up to 80 on the output side, I would ideally like to see this valve close and this stops. That would mean that it's working as intended. Okay, and that's holding at 80, and that's full. Okay. Awesome. I finally figured out what an underflow valve does. I've never been really clear on how it works. Okay, yeah, so now we are missing, we're not running because we are backed up on mineralized water. So we need to send our mineralized water somewhere where that will be used, which is over here to this pipe. So I'm just going to go up there by foot. And I think we can use an underflow valve there as well, if I'm not mistaken. If I put an underflow valve here, then then I will only pump it from down there. No, actually I want the underflow valve here. Right, so let's make another underflow. Where was it? Right there. All right, so that way it'll come from here only if we're not getting enough from here. At least that's the theory behind it. All right, I can run a pipe here. And I don't really want to be filling it from that side, but let's see. Yeah, let's run down this way. I don't want any coke pellets. Thank you very much. Yeah, and after this episode, I'm gonna set up some bronze pipe production over in the hardware store. Okay, and then I think we'll pipe it over here. Okay. All right, let's do it here then. And I should probably, yeah, and I'm gonna need a clarifier with an overflow as well, because if I'm not using mineralized water fast enough, I don't want this to stop because of that. Right, so I'm gonna need, for that, I want an overflow valve and a clarifier. And will my clarifier fit here? It will if I get rid of that power pole. Okay. So we're making sulfuric acid. And we will put a pump on here. Yeah, we seem to be, we're sustaining ourselves okay with the purified water, right? Are we getting, yeah, we're getting all the purified water we need here. It's only stopping when we run low on the sulfur dioxide. And that's basically just waiting for oxygen. I'm going to make another small inline tank to buffer some oxygen. I just wish I had a good way to manage the pressure in this tank better without having to resort to a pump on the output. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the pump, but it would be nice if there was a way to use valves. No, I guess there's no way to do it. It seems logical to have to use a pump. Speaking of pumps, I'm going to need power down here. There we go. All right, so then let's mark this on my map. This is, oh cripes. Yeah. Good luck finding it here. Sulfuric acid. See, now why does this has a gas icon? I'm going to label it here because the icons for the different types of gases and fluids they're really hard to differentiate one from the other. Okay, and then this doesn't need any overflow or clarifier. I'm only gonna make what I use and use what I make. And I think over time we are gonna be using quite a lot of that stuff. All right, let's see how we're doing on our tanks. Now the other thing I should be doing here is I should be drawing from these tanks up here as well, because that's only half of what I've got. Yeah, so I'm going to do that. I'll hook up a pump over here. And then I'm going to go make some more. Let's see. Ideally, I would like to pull it. Yeah, I'd like to pull it out of the tanks themselves. I don't want to put the pump right here because then, because then I'm going to be pulling it from the pipes. I guess it doesn't matter. I can put the pump there. Yeah, so I'm going to go make some more bronze pipes, and then I will run this pipe down there as well. So that way we'll be drawing from all the storage tanks and putting the sulfuric wastewater to good use. And then in the next episode, we will get back to making batteries and blue science packs. Until then, thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.